Hello, friends. How are you? I gave you a little sneak peek there of our project. So, this is a Monday mix up, but we're doing it on Tuesday because my daughter got engaged a couple weeks ago, and we've been going around looking at venues. And yesterday we decided on one and put our money down and set a date. And so, all that fun stuff is going on, and I'm afraid it's taken me out of my craft room a little bit. So, yesterday after we got back, I decided I'm just going to have a play with some of my glimmer projects. So I pulled out some things that I had glimmered in the past and just started making cards out of it. And so there was one that I particularly liked and I decided to share it with you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here is my card, and this is a fall leaf glimmer plate that I believe this one comes from Simon Says Stamp, if I remember right, but it's one of my favorites. Then I chose the little bird from Honeybee Stamps, and the thank you comes from a large brush sentiment set that's a glimmer and a die set from Pink Fresh Studios. And I believe this is the orange color of foil. Hopefully you can see that in there if I get the light on it. And I loved that orange for fall. So the colors I used for this card to do my background was the over coffee, the orange peel, the spiced, and the terracotta, all from Catherine Pooler. And that is how I inked to get this background. But today I wanted to do something a little different. So I have gone ahead and cut down my foiled piece, and this one I believe is foiled in a little bit different color. It's like a rose gold. Can you see that? I'm not sure if the camera picks that up or not. It's a rose gold. And I have my bird die cut, and for this card I'm going to do a cardinal. So I have all my dies here in 3 different shades of red. I've cut out my pieces and a branch. And I have a couple different colors of thank yous here that have been glimmered in a bright gold and then a little bit, I think this one's called pewter. And so I have those pulled out. We'll see which one looks best. But I don't know if you saw a Christmas card that Kelly Taylor put out the other day on her website, where for Christmas colors, she had used a combination similar to what I'm going to use on this card. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of purple, which really scares me. This may or may not work. And we have rouge, a little bit of orange, and a little bit of yellow. So tiki torch, orange twist, rouge, flirty fuchsia, and macchiato. So we will see if we can blend these together to make a nice fall background from our cardinal. And this may be a total flop, but I wanted to give it a go and see. So let me grab just a piece of cardboard here to be my background. I am going to be using the little brushes. These are, you can get these on Amazon, and I believe they're called concealer brushes. And I managed to find a set that was like 20 of these for like, I think it was $18. So they're a little less than $1 a piece. Now, I had done, this one's a Pink Fresh Studio, and I also have some that are from the Rabbit Hole Design. So they both sell those also for crafting purposes, and they're certainly more expensive to do it that way, but those companies do carry them, and I want to support them. But I bought several of mine just as makeup brushes, so I have a little of both. All right, so I'm going to begin. Oh boy, maybe I should begin with the lighter colors. So let me grab those. I'm going to start with the yellow and the orange. So we're going to use Tiki Torch first. Put my glasses on, and I'm just going to be kind of random about how I put this down, kind of concentrating my lighter colors towards the center and then have it get darker as it goes out to the edges. And that's what I did on my first one as well. And I'm just going right over the leaves because that foil is going to resist any of this ink, so we will dry that off after. see. I don't think I have one of these brushes that are dedicated to orange, do I? Yeah, yep, I do. Okay, so we'll use this one for the orange. I call my colors like a kindergartner calls them. I know this is called orange twist, but to me they're just yellow, red, orange, and purple. Okay, so we're going to bring in some of that color. So we are so excited about the upcoming wedding. Y'all will probably have to hear me talk about it often between now and when it actually happens. It's not going to be until next year, but we are in the planning and we're just all so excited. She's my only daughter. I have two sons, two daughter-in-laws, but this is my daughter and my first son-in-law, future son-in-law. So I'm just blending up next to the tiki torch color. And, all right, can you see that well? I'm trying to make sure I keep it in camera, and I'll go back over these colors after I get a little bit of each thing down. Now we're going to go with the rouge. Again, I want to blend my purple straight into the rouge, so that's why I'm kind of building up next to each color that I've done with the next color. All right. Now we're going to go with the Flirty Fuchsia, and we'll see how that works. Now, I know Flirty Fuchsia is a really bright color, so I'm going to definitely tap off over here because I don't want to get too much. All right. I was a little nervous about adding this color, so we'll see. You see how much brighter it is than some of the others, so I'll definitely have to go back over and blend that out. But so far, I'm liking it. Oh, I forgot. I don't know if I finished what I was saying about Kelly Taylor, but she had a Christmas card that had this beautiful purple and red, and I just fell in love with that color combination. I am definitely going to add a little of that into my Christmas cards. It was just so unique and different. I loved it. Oh, look at that. That's coming together very nicely. I like that purple in there. All right, we don't want to get too wild with it, but I do really like it. All right, now I'm going to work my way backwards and kind of do all of them again, just to get a little heavier coat of each one and get them all blended together well. There we go. Oh, this is fun. I love blending unique colors together and see what comes out. I don't usually do it on camera because you never know. Some of them don't come out as well as others. So, but so far I'm very pleased with this one. I'm liking it so far. So several people have been asking me about these brushes since the first time I used them in a video. So the first that I got, I did pick them up from Rabbit Hole Designs the first time. And I only had 4, so I pretty much just had the primary colors. Then one time I did a Create and Connect with Pinkfresh, and their free gift to us for doing the Create and Connect was some of these brushes with their logo on it. So then I was just, I don't even know why I was on Amazon, but I saw them come up as makeup brushes, and so I picked up a few more so that I could have enough to do all my different colors as well as my oxides. So I have one for the Catherine Pooler inks, and then I also have a full set for all of my Distress oxides. And I like working with them. I like the way they apply ink. So if you think you might like to try them, that is where I have picked them up. So put just a little bit over here. Just to blend that all together. All right, I am very happy with how those colors came together. I was a little nervous, but I think it came out very well. Now, we'll have to see how our bird looks on there. So there's not a lot of red, but we'll see. Okay, now for the birds, I did use Honeybee's Honeybee Stamps. It's called Lovely Layers Winter Birds. So they also have another one that's just birds, and it has a couple different birds, but this one has the robin and the cardinal, and it looks like this, and that is what I use to make my little birds. You can look back at my videos and see that I have an affinity for birds. Specifically cardinals. I have always loved cardinals. I grew up in Indiana, and that's the state bird of Indiana. So when I moved to Texas, I sort of started, I wouldn't say collecting, but I have a painting of cardinals, and I have a little figurine of some cardinals that are in my house. And a few years ago, when we added on to our back porch, we have like a whole family of cardinals living in our backyard now. So it's funny, when I lived in Indiana, I didn't really see that many, even though it was the state bird. But now that I'm here in Texas, we have a whole family of them living in our backyard. I enjoy sitting out there listening to them. Okay, so one thing I am going to do, this is my, the one that I did the color rouge with, and I am going to go ahead and just kind of buff around each of these pieces to soften it a little bit. And I'm not going to put more ink on my brush. I'm just going to use what's on there. So there's not a lot, but it will add just a little bit of shadow to some of those places that will show. And I'm not going to do this one because it's going to be on the very bottom. All right, and let's see. I'll do that one. Okay, we're just going to layer this guy up. I saw some countdown and it counted the number of days till Christmas. I was shocked at how close it is. It's like, I don't know. I didn't commit it to memory, but it's way closer than I thought it was. So. Now in this die set, it gives you some teeny tiny little dies to do his feet and his eye and his beak. But I'm going to do it with a marker. So I like to come in with a fine tip marker. And this one, I believe it's a Faber-Castell, but that's just one brand there of marker. And it looks like I will need to do a Jelly Roll pen also to get his eye. Yeah. Okay. And this little piece just goes right there around his beak. I think just like that, if I've got that on there right, which I hope so. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to make his feet black. You know what? Maybe I don't need the fine tip one. Hold on one second. No, that's not the right one. That's not the wrong color. Oh, there it is, bold. This is the bold one, and it has more of a brush tip, and I think that'll help me get down the sides a little bit better. Oops, I just got it on my... Gonna hold that up before I make a mess. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Now I can just get down there in between. There we go. Okay, so there's his little feet. Now, hopefully my Jelly Roll pen is still working. I seem to buy these things new all the time, I don't use it tons, so then when I go to use it, they're dried out. Does anybody else have that trouble? So hopefully, looks like this one's still got some paint left in it. So I don't use the Jelly Roll pen a lot because of that very reason. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, it does look like there's supposed to be a little orange piece that goes right here. And I may die cut that later on and put it in, but I don't have a piece of orange paper right here by me. So we are going to move on. And for this card, I'm going to use a little creamier white paper for the background. And before I go any further, I wanted to come in with this is just a napkin. You can really use anything, but I'm going to just rub some of that ink off of my foiled leaves and see how that comes off a little bit. But that'll just make those shine a little bit better. I'm just loving this background. What do we think of the red bird on this nice fall background? I kind of like it. It's unexpected. All right. So I think we'll put that right here. I think I want him off to the side a little bit. Let's see. Right on here. That will have an outline. There we go. And now let's decide which thank you we want to use. So there's this darker one, which I'm kind of leaning towards. I think that this one might be just a little too bright. I think that's just too bright. I'm going to move our bird out here a little bit more. Punch those out a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to put the thank you off to the side a little bit. There we go. Maybe move him down. And you know what? I didn't put glue under his feet on purpose because I want to be able to put this branch just right under his feet, just like that. Move him out just a little bit more. I'm putting his feet. All right, there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue these pieces down, and then I have one more thing that we're going to do to our sentiment so that it matches our card a little better. And I'll show you where I did the same thing on my other one. And it's just a little trick that you can do sometimes to a sentiment just so it matches your card a little better. There we go. Today's just a really laid back, comfortable day of crafting. I craft so much with videos and work and things like that in mind that I found I was just in need of a day to just craft for the fun of it and not just have fun with it. So that's what I did. Let's see. I guess I could have popped him up, but I didn't. That's okay. I didn't on the other one either. Just put a little bit of glue under there. There we go. All right. So we'll put a thank. And you right here by our bird. Now, if you're like me, when you look at that, the white outline around my sentiment there is just too bright for my overall card design. So I am going to come back with my brushes that I used on the background. I'm not going to add any ink to them. And I'm just going to buff out that white a little bit more. And then we will wipe it off with the towel again, just like we did the leaves. Straight, get that on there straight. All right, so we're going to come back, and I've already used the red on my bird, so I'm feeling like it's not going to be too awful dark. And we are just going to kind of buff this out to get rid of that stark white. And then I'm going to do the same with the yellow. And this is just going to make that match our background a little bit more. Now, I don't think I'm going to use the purple because, like I said, I know that purple's really heavy and I don't want it to be, you know, purple. I just want it to have the hint of the colors that I used in the rest of the background. So it's still lighter, it still has a background, but see how it's starting to blend in and match my background. Oops, don't quite need that many. And now we'll just take that ink off of the letters. And there we go. Oh, I just love it. I really like that red bird on that background. I think that's really pretty. So here's the two, and you can see how I did that in the center here. And I have a few more cards that I wanted to share with you from my day of just playing with the pieces I had glimmered. So this is the one I've decided to share with you, but I also made another huge stack. Here's a nice big birthday card. And this happy birthday was made with the same set that the thank you came from. Oh, it's a different set, but it's the same company. And I'm also made several of these in this color combination. I can't thank you enough. And it's lots of glimmered sheets. The best wishes. This one was actually one of my favorites. I really liked, I had tons of these butterflies and pieces already made, so I was just having fun with them. Here's a really pretty one, and these are utilizing from Pink Fresh the washi tape flowers. The first one and this one, these are both flowers from washi tape. So there's another one of those. This was just kind of a real modern kind of just note card, which I thought was fun, and it too is all glittered. Here's another one of the blue ones. Here's one other leaf set, and it's a shaker. And then a get well soon. As you can see, I just really had fun using foiled backgrounds that I had already made in the past, and decided to spend the day turning them into pretty cards that I could use. So let's go ahead and change back. Thanks for spending this nice relaxing time with me today. I hope if you have a glimmer and you have lots of things that you've kind of tested out on your glimmer and you just have these backgrounds laying around and different things, that you can maybe take a look back at the ones I've made and maybe be inspired of how you can put those together. So, all right, thanks again for spending this time with me, and I will see you again later in the week. I'll be on Whimsy's channel Thursday at noon Texas time. I'll be on Heartfelt Creation on Friday at noon. And then I'll also have a Heartfelt Friday card coming out on Carrie Lee Creations on Friday. So always busy. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.